Hey, what's up everybody? Scott coming back at you with another video. Haven't had too many pickups in the month of November, but I did get one card in. Plus opened up a couple boxes of Prizm about a week and a half ago. And I just want to show you the hits that I ended up keeping from that box. The bigger hits, so Joe Mixon. That was a red auto. These are numbered out of 49. And also TJ Watt. Green crop circle auto, we'll call it that, out of 99. A couple other autos, Tim Williams, Carl Lawson, and Donnell Pumphrey. There we go. So yeah, not too bad. It's kind of fun to just rip boxes, hang out with a guy I met in LLC, Mike, who's from the Green Bay area. It was kind of cool to go down there with him and rip open some packs. Didn't really matter what I got. So yeah, that was a good time. Just enjoying a Demento Session Pale Ale here. From Ale Asylum out of Madison. Every now and again I like to try a few different kinds of beers. This is actually really good. Now as far as other cards that I got in, I just got the one in November so far, and that is Buford Ray. He is a guy that a lot of collectors know about. If you're a new card guy or a modern guy, you're not going to know much about Buford Ray, but if you're in any kind of vintage collector, you know how difficult it is to get this card. So there was a PSA 5 that came up at auction on eBay, and I went ahead and I grabbed it. Turns out in the process I actually outbid a friend of mine, Troy, but I did not know that I was doing that. It wasn't until after I bought it and showed him that he said that I ended up outbidding him. So not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. It's just so rare to find. This is actually, believe it or not, a fairly nice centered copy of this card. Otherwise usually they're very centered very badly. They look like they've been run through bicycle spokes. They just are not good. This is card number 108, which is the last card in the 1948 Bowman football set. It was way in the bottom corner of the sheet and apparently prone to lots of problems. And that's this card is also a short print by nature. So not only does it have condition issues from being at that bottom corner of the sheet, it also just isn't very numerous out there to begin with. So that's kind of what makes this card so valuable and so special. I've been watching for over 3 years now. I've maybe seen, a couple 5s in that period. I've only seen one 7. I've seen no 8s up for sale. So I actually do already have this card here in the grade of a 7, so kind of show them side by side so you can see the difference. The 7 that I have on the right is a lot sharper. Centering maybe actually slightly better on the 5 though. But the overall quality of the image and sharpness of the card definitely is the reason why the 7's on the right. It's just kind of cool to see them both side by side. You don't find this card very often at all. Just a couple of statistics on the card. There's been 110 total graded of Buford Ray. There's only been 21 5s graded. So that'd be this one here. 21 5s. 26s. 11 7s. That would be this one here. This is one of the 11. 5 8s and 1 8.5, and that is it. No 9s, no 10s. 8.5 is the high grade, and that card is owned by another guy in the Packers registry sets. Ryan, he owns that card, so that card's not going anywhere. And the 5 8s, last time I checked, were all accounted for in 1948 Bowman set collectors sets. So there hasn't been an 8 sold since 2014. That was the last time, and there hadn't been a 7 sold since 2012, and that was the last the last time, and until earlier this year, I believe I bought this card back in March or April of this year. That's the last time that one of these has been sold. Was 2012 before I bought this one in the spring of this year. So anytime I see one of these, I try to jump after it here. I still might work out a deal for Troy with the one on the left, or I might just keep it. I don't know yet. It's just it's such a rare card that I don't mind having a couple of them if I can. They just don't exist out there. And here is an autographed card I have of Buford Ray. This is that 77 Touchdown Club set. What people would do is they would buy these cards from the Touchdown Club set, and they would actually send them through the mail, or else they would get players to sign the card. So some of these cards are actually harder to find unsigned than signed. I love the signatures back in the day of these guys. They actually took the time to sign their full name. Buford Baby Ray. Baby it was his nickname, of course. Bought this about 2 years ago, along with a Clark Hinkle 77 Touchdown Club. I want to say Baby Ray died in the mid-70s, or 75 maybe, I think I read. So, just kind of a cool auto card. So yeah, that was my only pickup of November so far, was this bad boy here in the grade of a 5, to add to my 7 that I already have. I did make a pickup, I believe it was on Friday night, so that'll have to wait till next video. There we'll have another example of a card that went very cheap that I just decided to get a second one of. It had gone much cheaper than I had gotten mine for, so again, I might hold it, or I might help out one of my fellow set guys with the card. But it's a card, it's a card you don't see a ton of as well, part of the Packers Team Hall of Fame set. There are a couple cards ending, one tonight, and then I have like 1 or 2 ending early this week at auction that I'm kind of watching. So we'll see if I get lucky on any of those. Other than that, I'm going to finish my Ale Asylum Demento Pale Ale here. And really stoked about the Badgers win last night, beating Minnesota. Final was 31-0. Minnesota's kind of rebuilding this year anyway, so I'm not taking a ton out of that game, but man, it's been a fun year to be a Wisconsin football fan. Obviously the Packers not doing that great. They play the Steelers later tonight. I'm not even sure how badly I want to watch that game, but the Badgers have kept me interested, and big game next week against Ohio State. Wisconsin defense has done so well this year, so hopefully they can do well against the top-tier offense like Ohio State and get a spot in the playoffs. It'll be fun to see. There's only been, I think I read there's only been 5 teams over the last so many years that have 100 wins or more, and those 5 are Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma. There was one other one in there, and then Wisconsin. So Wisconsin's been right up there with those guys, and I hope they finally start getting the respect, and I hope they play well on Saturday to earn that respect and get into the playoff. That'd be awesome. With that being said, I will be watching the Packers tonight, regardless of the outcome that I might feel is going to happen, just to see. I just love watching teams even when they're down. I just want to see which guys plays, which guys don't play, which guys give in. To me, it tells you a lot about who you are if you play when the times are tough. Anybody can play when the times are going good. So, other than that, you guys have a great night. Any questions or comments, don't hesitate to ask below. Have a good one.